At last, my role is at an end. Juna, I'm sorry. I only ever meant to protect you, but in the end, you'll have it the hardest.
Hey, can I have that magical stick that summons dragons, please?
Sister. Please, you... Tell me, what do I do?
You should close your eyes. I'm about to stab her, I think.
Basilio, tell me. What do I do?
Girl, Basilio checked out like 15 minutes ago.
Lady Juna.
And what happens to the faithful? They'll be crushed. You're their saint. You had just put their hearts at ease. What are you? I never wanted you to see it, but... Juna, look at this.
Is it gonna be the mark on her back?
What? What's left of my life is a price already claimed by my own curse. Perhaps it was too cruel to ask for a quicker death at your hands. I leave Juna and this country in your hands.
How did she time that?
Rella!
Oh, now you've both lost siblings. You can bond over it.
Thank you, Juna. Your life and will was always your own. If only I could have lived with your freedom. I admire you. Please don't let this change you, dear sister. I just wish I'd had more time to watch over you.
Man, her sleeves are stupid.
Huh?
What's our screen transition gonna be now from day to day?
The curse is gone. He's cured.
I see. Which means Rella is...
Yo, this music.
Damn it! What am I doing?
Language, Basilio. He's like, what am I doing? I zoned out for like the past 15 minutes. What happened?
It's just like me and Del. I never wanted her to go through this too.
She did not strive merely to make amends. She was as much a protector as any of us.
But some other people in chat are saying what I'm literally about to say, but like, I feel like the game did not build up Rella effectively enough for me to really care about this moment. I do want to, by the way, I want to say at the same time, I think the game did beautifully with Fidelio. Like, I cared about Fidelio when he died. I was happy that Basilio was the one who lived because I could have seen either of them dying. But, like, I was sad when Fidelio died. On one hand, I was like, yes, we get Basilio. On the other, I was like, oh man, Fidelio is actually pretty cool. Like, that, I think they did Fidelio's death really well. Rella's, I don't think they did it bad per se, but I just don't care about Rella. She didn't come up super often. Normally, whenever she showed up, it was just for us to ask her, like, hey, can you tell us something about the Sanctus or whatever? I don't feel like they ever did a great job of, like, building up her and Juna's relationship like they did Basilio and Fidelio. So, I will say, on one hand, like, her having been the one to cast the curse under Forden and Forden being the one who did that and all, that's all neat and good. It makes sense with her having done it under Forden's command instead of Luis having done it, etc. I don't really care about Rella herself or her death, like I did Fidelio's at least. So I think the game kind of dropped the ball on making me care about Rella leading into this twist. I think the twist itself is fine. I think they didn't set it up well enough, because if they wanted more emotional payout from it, they should have gotten us more connected to Rella. I think it also does not help that they did Fidelio's death, and then immediately, like, the next in-game day is like, by the way, Rella also died, and she was, like, kind of evil, kind of not, in a bad position, etc. I think they're also, like, a little too close, so when I see this death scene, I'm really thinking about, like, man, Fidelio's death that was literally like 3 in-game hours ago hits so much harder. Or like 3 hours of gameplay ago, not in-game hours, but you know what I mean. Like, Fidelio's death just happened, and then we got to these cutscenes where Rella dies. And I'm like, yeah, one of these clearly was like more emotional and set up better than the other.
You're right. For her family, and for all Sanctism's faithful. Even as it cost her her own life.
Rella knew she was linked by the curse to its victim. Her body paid the price, and she must have known she didn't have much longer.
She really, truly wanted to guide those who looked to her. It wasn't about the church for her, it was about the people. She was the kind of Sanctist others only pretended to be.
I have a feeling that many of her congregation will continue to call her the saint. I only wish she had lived to see it.
I'm with you there. She was stubborn, fussy, a bit odd, maybe. But she'd drop everything to help someone. And she'd do it with her whole heart. In all the filth of that sullied house, she was the one brilliant flower that bloomed. That's who you were. And that's why I loved you, Rella.
She gave us a mission.
Yes. You're right. Can't waste all my time crying when she's counting on us. Rella's given us a lot. Not just the truth about Luis. She's put the entire Sanctus congregation's support behind His Highness the Prince. You.
Indeed. You'll not have the whole nation on your side, but it won't be long before you've taken second place, just behind Luis himself.
Saint Rella saved me. I owe her my life, and I'm not gonna waste it. I'll fight with everything I have, right to the end. Let's do this.
We saved the prince! Good job, team. Second place! Let's go! Rella, the candidate in second place, has fallen. The believers who stood by her will likely transfer their support to the prince. I also agree with some people in chat mentioning they're glad that it wasn't, like, Rella being controlled to, like, take away free will or whatever, like I thought it was gonna be after the last set of cutscenes. I really thought that they were just gonna retread the Persona playbook, and I was gonna be like, oh, come on, don't do that. So I'm glad that they didn't. There's still time for some godlike entity to show up and be like, I will take away your free will. So I hope that doesn't happen, but the very clear, like, they could have done it by controlling Rella idea is gone now, which I'm glad. Rella's shocking news was delivered throughout the country by the Crier's message birds and had even made its way to Grand Trad before the day's end.
Saint Rella was the one who cursed the prince. And to take her own life in the name of atonement. Yet, even if she'd lived, she confessed to high treason. She'd have been executed either way. Has all I've believed in been lies?
But didn't you hear the rest?
That Elder boy's the true prince. He survived. The king's true-born son's risen to take down Luis. It's like a proper myth. I've got to stand with him.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I might have your attention for a moment. We actually received an urgent notice a short while ago. A letter from the candidate Luis. In truth, I wasn't sure if we should read this to the public, but the criers have come to consensus. We must fulfill our duties. If this message is being read, it means
that Rella is dead. And the boy who claims himself the prince has won. Now, only 2 aspirants remain with any real chance at the throne. The boy and myself.
I like how even though they're using Luis's voice, it still just calls him dignified crier.
To all lessers who remain, lay down your arms and accept defeat with grace. Blind defiance will be met with death. Bare your teeth, and you will die like the dogs you are. The boy, or myself. Only one shall wear the crown.
Sounds like he's throwing down a gauntlet, doesn't it?
We need not wait for the former king's judgment to pass. Let us determine ourselves which of us is fit for rule. My proposal is this. On September the 24th, upon the grounds before the royal capital's grand cathedral, we settle this in a contest of single combat. As in our battle at the Opera House, I welcome any weapons, any number of adversaries. Collective power is its own achievement. Either way, you will die by my hand.
Thus ends the letter from candidate Luis. I knew it!
It's a duel.
If Luis emerges the victor, we are surely doomed.
I stand with the prince!
Nobody can beat Count Luis! It's high past time he tore that so-called prince limb from limb!
If he beats this Luis person, will he become king?
Will he indeed? Reminds me of what my darling used to say. If you choose to fight, be ready when they fight back. I suppose it had to be this way. You can't fight a man for the throne without cutting a path to it first. Just come back alive. That's all we can hope for.
This defies all reason. What has Rella done? Even in death she finds a way to betray the church and raise that damned wealth.
She always seemed so timid in these chambers. Had she been scheming against us from the beginning?
We're not through yet. We must find a worthy successor and raise yet another candidate to replace Rella.
You've tried this twice, bro.
Yet, what chance do we have of winning now? Can anyone here conceive of someone as capable as Rella in winning the people's hearts? They say that even the monk Captain Godot is stepping down. There is no road forward where a Sanctus delegate can take the throne.
Then what path remains?
We must take steps now to ensure that our positions cannot be eliminated, whether by Luis or the boy. Whoever wins, we must gird ourselves.
If Luis has his way, he'd sooner have our heads than our titles.
The methods don't matter as long as we have a plan. There's no going back when our hands are already steeped in blood.
Strange to hear that said without a shred of guilt. But you're right. Survival is what matters now.
I see. Yes, that seems to explain everything. Glad to hear His Highness is all right. Hardly feels real after all the muck we've waded through. But I suppose the fates take as much as they give. And you, my girl, how are you holding up?
I'm all right. My mind's cleared a bit. Sorry. Still got to lie about it. But please don't act any different on my account. She put her trust in me. I can't afford to be weak now. I've a job to do, and I'm going to finish it.
Man, I'm like so excited again. Now that we're past that dragon fight, with Luis like saying, yo bro, let's go. No hold bars, Fox only, final destination. As many items as you want. I'm like so hyped for where the story is gonna go again.
Right. Understood. Well, for now, tempting as it might be, best not to drop everything and make a dash for His Highness.
Indeed. No doubt Luis has his eyes on us, waiting for such indiscretion. We must be patient and confront him face to face.
As it happens, we were rather beaten to the punch. Just earlier, a delivery bird dropped by with urgent news from old Batlin. Apparently, Luis has thrust us a proper letter of challenge. Says he'll be waiting to face us on September 24th in front of the Grand Cathedral.
Sounds like he wants this settled before an audience. If he's going all in here, maybe he'll finally tip his hand, show his trump card.
Still got a trick up his sleeve, has he?
Luis just doesn't go around hunting humans. He's been doing proper research, trying to figure out their powers and origin for ages. Don't know how much truth there is to it, but I heard he's developed some new magic art of his own. Something dark and secret.
He's forged new magics.
I wasn't convinced when I first heard it. But now I've met you lot and I've seen all this messing about with archetypes. Well, nothing surprises me anymore.
Indeed. Last time, we had the element of surprise, and he was wounded. And we still barely had him. Didn't end up much of a decisive victory over the perfect Count Luis. If we fight the same way we did last time, he'll kill us all. This won't be an easy battle, but we've got to keep our heads up.
We still have a grace period until the day he named. Let us use the time wisely and prepare all we can.
Oh, hello there. Back at the Altaberry Inn. Well, this is a surprise. Never expected to see your faces back in town. Not many would show up again after angering Master Godot and his monk army like you lot did.
No.
Hey, let's not sweat the details, mate.
Yes.
Saint Rella placed her trust in us. She would see us protect all those in this country, including the Sanctus Faithful, who are still the prince's royal subjects.
Right.
I almost said the wrong word. Besides, a coward who flees the city to save his own hide would hardly be worthy of support.
I beg your pardon.
We'd like to prepare for our confrontation before we jump back into the fray in Grand Trad. I apologize for imposing on you again. I see. Well, never fear, I'll not turn you over to the church. Not that the monk army has its sights on you to begin with. Master Godot has buried the hatchet, as it were. Says it'd be pointless to do otherwise. Regardless, I'm sure you're all exhausted after what you've been through. Please rest well. Okay. Everyone's dead tired. Anyway, let's rest up. Now that the prince's curse has been lifted, we can't just mope around. Surely the prince isn't just gonna, like, lay around, right? He's probably gonna be doing something. It's the 12th, so... This is September, right? Yeah, September is the 9th. Then it's October, November, November. Or October, November, December. I think I said November twice. So we have, like, 13 days, or no, more like 11 days until we have to fight Luis. Not a lot of time. I don't think the game is gonna end on this Luis fight. Only 11 days to max out Basilio? There's no shot. No shot. There's no way, because we still have like 4 more relics to find for Neurus. And I've gone to like every dungeon that the game has offered us except for one, because we haven't gone to that dungeon out of Grand Trad where that Cyclops or whatever is hiding where those bandits were. There's probably one there. So there has to be at least like 3 more dungeons that Neurus's contraptions are in. And there's definitely going to be more stuff going on with the humans or whatever, and the underground dragon temple having the ruins of an ancient world or whatever. So I not for a second do I believe that this game ends at the end of this deadline. Now, I could see the game ending in the whatever time we get after this one. we could have the Luis fight, and then, like, we kill him, and then there's some big human problem we need to solve, or we beat him, and he, like, turns into a human, or fuses with a human, I don't know, and then he's like, oh, come face me at the ruins of the old world, or whatever, and then we have, like, a really long period of, like, 20 days or something before we go finish him off, or finish off whatever human we need to, etc., etc. I could see that. Gallica also has 2 more rank ups to go, and she's story-based. So, not for a second do I believe that this is our last deadline. I do think that during this deadline, we want to get as many rank ups done as we can. It would be very nice to max out Heisme and hopefully get Juna and Yufa to, like, 7. I think 7 is when they get Battle Hypnosis. Yes. So that way they gain experience at a normal rate. That's what I really want. The Dragoon. Okay, okay.